Good morning, everybody. I'm excited. The bells of Ball Ground are here, and the belle of Germany is here. The belle, not to be confused with ding dong. So, yeah, we are excited. Today is going to be an amazing day. Miss Jenny Byers, who is our Princess Belle of Ball Ground, is here. Miss Paula Doris, who is our Queen Belle of Ball Ground, and then the Queen Belle of Germany, Miss Elisabeth, is here. And Miss Elisabeth, we're going to talk about things that are happening in the world. We met at the house the other day and had the baby Belle, tiny baby Belle, with us, and we had a good day, and you prayed, and we just, it's a good thing to have you back in America. It's a good thing. You bring this amazing positive energy. And the energy just, do y'all feel it when you're around her?
Yes.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And you just left a country that is, I don't want to say these words, but Germany is beginning to be in ruins because some crazy things are happening politically.
Yes.
Are you afraid for your country?
Yes. Yes. But I think destruction can go only as far till things are destroyed. And then you start rebuilding. So I prepare for rebuilding. An avalanche goes downhill till it hits ground, and then you can start rebuilding. You just have to jump out of the way when it comes, so you stay safe. And yeah, it's going so fast. It's scary.
You know, I have a granddaughter who is half German because her dad is German, and his mother, and generation. Germany has always been such a strong country.
Yes, yes.
Germany was like the industrial of the world.
Yes.
That's collapsing.
Yep.
What is happening, Elisabeth?
Well, first it was pandemic. Everything was locked down. Mm-hmm. Everything stopped because you couldn't get your materials. If they tried to build something, trucks were stopped at the borders. Mm-hmm. They had to do all their checkups, and so everything stopped. School stops, everything stopped. So we have problems getting our stuff. Mm-hmm. And now pandemic is over, but lots of companies are broke. Mm-hmm. Now we have the Greens in our government. We have a government made out of 3 parties, and the Greens, they want to change Germany into I don't know exactly what they want to change it into. And they only talk about renewable energy. Mm-hmm. And to them, renewable energy is just solar and windmills. Mm-hmm. But we have over 80 million people living there. We will never make enough energy with windmills and solar. Mm-hmm. So they shut down.
That means half the world, half of Germany would have no electricity.
Half?
More than half. Wow. That is crazy.
More than half. So energy prices are exploding. Our Nord Stream pipe was destroyed, so we don't
What happened to this pipeline?
It got bombed or destroyed. Somehow they busted it. And so now they
intentionally stopped the pipeline.
I don't know. I don't know. It looks strange.
Suspicious. Yeah. Suspicious is a word
so
we use.
Now
my grannies say it don't look right.
Yeah. So now they try to buy gas from Saudi Arabia and all the different places and put it on ships and bring it to Germany. So that now they have to build different harbors so these ships can land, and they buy nuclear energy from France and all the other countries. We're not allowed to produce.
Where you had your own energy before.
Yeah.
You were self-sufficient Germany.
Yeah.
And in just a few years. Destruction.
1 year.
1 year. 1 year.
Yeah.
You have seen your country almost destroyed.
Yeah.
Elisabeth, that scares me because we're in our country and we are watching some of the same. I'm going to say a word my granny used a lot. That's just foolishness. That's just foolishness, isn't it, girls? It's foolishness. We have to protect your country. You always said that Germany was as strong as America was. So now you're making me scared that because Germany's already failing, America's on our way to that same craziness with the green and the housing?
I don't know. Now they try to get German companies to United States because energy prices are much lower than they are in Germany. It's scary. Like the Greens, they want to stop all the cars, only electrical cars. So
Same thing they're trying to push down our throats here. That's the same thing.
It's by 2035. They want to have, everybody should have an electrical car. So there's not even, you can manufacture that many cars.
No.
We don't have the electricity, and by 2030, we're not allowed to heat our homes with gas or oil. We all have to have some kind of electrical heating system, but we don't have the companies to build it. We don't have electricity to run it. And electricity is so expensive that people would pay for their heating like...
Okay, you're a nurse by trade.
Yeah.
You're well educated.
Yeah.
You're sitting there watching somebody take your country down.
Yeah.
What is it going to take to stop this? Can well-educated people not get together and say, this doesn't make any sense?
I don't know how they got so much power. I don't know
How
how
did
it
they
is
get so much
possible
power?
that, and our government is made up of 3 different parties. Our chancellor had only 25% of the votes. So we never had a chancellor who was voted by only 25% of the people. And they don't care. They don't care what we say, and they have the power. I don't know what happened. During the pandemic, when everything was shut down, you were not allowed to move around. You were not allowed to speak up. They called you a Nazi.
Oh my
if
gosh.
you spoke, yes.
This is crazy, y'all.
We went for walks like on Mondays to protest for the freedom of speech and freedom. So they would watch us, they would call us Nazis, they would call us, I mean, the Nazis were the ones who forced people to obey the government. Now, when you speak up against the government, you're the Nazi. So it was
crazy.
It was crazy. And you were not allowed to criticize anything. They put you on Facebook jail. They put you.
Oh my
so
gosh,
I am a nurse, so we medical professionals were forced to be vaccinated. Otherwise, they oh gosh, my English. They write to the health ministry, and then they decide if you're allowed to work anymore, if you're allowed to enter the hospital anymore, or the nursing home wherever you work, or if you have to pay a fine, or on top of it have to pay a fine of 2,500 euros. So I did not get vaccinated. I donated half of my liver 18 years ago, and I have a damaged upper body from that, but it's okay. My sister got saved. She's
saved?
alive.
Yes,
she has a
right.
baby.
Yes,
so
yes.
Everything's. But I got a lot of respect for my body. So when I saw testimonials of American people who were doing the tests, who were tests person, and they got damaged real badly, and nobody took care of them. No doctor knew how to help them, what happened, what is wrong with them. I got scared. I'm scared for my life. I said, no, if you shoot me, I'm dead. But if you, no. So, and then I prepared that maybe I cannot work as a nurse anymore, maybe, but you didn't know where they would stop. I was not allowed to enter a restaurant, I was not allowed to enter a cinema, I was not allowed to enter a gym, a concert, I was not allowed to travel. I could only go to a gas station, pharmacy, and a food store. Not a clothing store, so just a food store. Yeah, you had to show your...
That's like being in prison.
You had to show your vaccination passport or that you recovered from corona, so I was shut out of everything. I became a cave person somehow.
Well, you know, sadly, last year I lost 12 friends to COVID. They all had been vaccinated. Most of them died because of that shot.
Yeah.
And they said they knew that their body shut down after they got the shot.
Yep.
And we have seen so many people, Holly, you're dealing with health issues because you got the shot. It was advised to you that you get the shot, you got the shot, and now your body is shutting down. And you're having all kinds of problems that you've never had. We just buried a lady who was just 60 years old who was paralyzed from the waist down after she got the shot. So I am not vaccinated. It's your opinion. You choose to do what you want to do. I chose not to, and I said I may die from COVID tomorrow, but I will not die from the shot. So,
exactly.
and you are, you know, you're so smart, but you're also a devout Christian.
Oh yeah.
You are here in America to become a greater Christian, and you're going to visit different Christian ministries while you're here. And I love that you smiled when you saw Travis and Alicia Bridgman, because we got to go to their church and you spoke. And this was during Donald Trump's reign when he was running for president. And you spoke and you told us how important it was that Donald Trump win the presidency, because it would save America and it would save your country.
Yes.
And
all
you
the
said
Christian
that.
countries.
Every Christian country.
Because
And
you're the head of Christianity. So if the head is cut off, nobody can save United States. You would always be the big ones helping the smaller ones. But if you go down, nobody is big enough to save you.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what she told us at church. That's exactly what you stated at church. You told us that we have to maintain our country as a Christian nation.
And a free country,
And you have seen a lot of things taken from us, a lot of things that have been choked down our throats too. And it's sad. It's sad for our country and yours.
But Americans stand up and they fight. You have people that are patriots that stand up and fight, and they won't give in and they won't give up. You're such an inspiration to me. When that started with the lockdowns, and I thought, oh my gosh, and wearing a mask, excuse me. You breathe your own stuff back in and forth and breathe all the germs that you usually that are mixed up in the air. Ugh. Excuse me. And then came these, first it was just some cloth, and then it came all these plastic, and you just inhale microplastic. People get sick with their lungs, whatever. So, and I was fighting, and God told me, when that started with the lockdown, He told me, Elisabeth, you need to have all your roots and your wealth in me. I'm your provider. So I did not know what was coming, that there would come a vaccination, they force on us, whatever. I did not know that, but He told me, all your roots and your wealth have to be me. I am your provider. So I practiced to trust Him, and then I said, Lord, but I've always earned my own money. I'm not from a rich family that stay at home, and that's a big root. I cannot pull that out. I would have to cut the tree or something. And then when they sent my name to the health ministry, because I wasn't vaccinated, on that day, God just pulled out this root, and it went up like a water hose. Like the fire department has the water hose, and it went up like a water hose, and He put it onto Himself. And I said, I'm going to provide you. Don't be scared. Wow, now I feel like all my roots are pulled out of this world.
I love it.
And if the flood comes, I'm in the ark with Him. So,
I love it.
And I feel so safe, and I have so much joy. Sometimes I could bust with joy. And there's so much space, and I can be who I am, and He listens to me, and He talks to me, and I get answers. I'm free to be. I don't know how I belong into society. That's I don't know. I feel like I'm a strange piece of puzzle.
Well, in America, you are going to be visiting evangelist, and you're going to be hearing the word that you know is the truth. And that's something that I ask you, what's the percentage of Christians in Germany? And you're not sure, but is it small?
I don't know. We don't confess our faith. In Germany, you can talk
about... Are you afraid to confess your faith?
No, in Germany, you can talk about your sex life. That's not intimate. But if you talk about your religion, that's so intimate. People go like, you cannot talk about religion. I could tell you what kind of sex practices I have. Nobody would flush. But you talk about religion.
Tell about the
it's crazy.
How you got to come onto this visit. They lifted the rules and how
so I wasn't allowed
miracle.
to travel, and United States still had the restrictions for unvaccinated people that you need an exemption why you cannot be vaccinated. So in Germany, no doctor gives you anything like that, because doctors who did that go to prison. We have now doctors going to prison now that they know didn't help. It didn't help from contamination, didn't help you, didn't help others. And still doctors who did exemptions for people who had asthma and allergies and different kinds, where they said, oh, you better don't get anything in there. They go to trial now, and they'll be put to prison, have to pay a fine, and they're not allowed to practice.
Medical license?
Yes, for a few years, and it's... Yeah. So on the 11th of September, I was taking care of my mother-in-law. She stayed with us, and now she's very forgetful, and she needs care around the
Was
clock.
it the 11th of May?
11th of May.
11th of May, she
Yeah.
came to a nursing home, and on the same day, United States lifted all the restrictions for unvaccinated people, and I had 3 weeks off because I have so many overdue hours, and I said, oh my gosh, everything just falls in place, just like it
You're in
feels
America
like
now.
birthday, Christmas, Easter, wedding day, everything. It
God.
just goes, yeah, it's
And that gives you the opportunity to visit these revivals that you plan to go to.
yeah, it's
Tell
just
Sherry about that.
The timing is perfect because you and Paula are going to go now down to where to
we could
Savannah,
first go to Brunswick.
Brunswick.
To the tent meeting there with Robin Bullock and Donna Rickney. And from there we go on to Savannah, to Charleston, and then to South Carolina and visit people that were in Ireland with me, and then go on to Asheville to see the Biltmore Estate. That's so smart. Yeah, and just have
You're
a
excited.
remembrance tour. That's what, except Brunswick, it's the places we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah, Savannah,
Yeah.
Charleston. No, Charleston is new to me too. But
Yeah.
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 For
That's
the good
gonna
old
be-
times.
Yeah, yeah. And now you've been following these Christian evangelists
Yeah.
from Germany.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you watch them online on YouTube? Is that how you
yes,
do it?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And I thank God that I speak English and I understand English. I can listen to preachers from around the world whenever I want to, and I get all the spiritual food that I need. And in Germany, we have to catch up. We are believers. Germans are head people. It's all in your head, and you can talk about it, but it's just your head. We don't live from our hearts. So now I
Wow.
work in psychiatry, and it's so interesting to see people that get lost in their souls, and God put eternity in us. So the soul is much bigger than your body. And if you have eternity, I mean, that's a huge space to get lost in. So you find somebody, you have eternity, you have, I have. So, and then they get pills, and another pill, and another pill, and another pill, and that's
And
not
you're
the
all
help.
about, you're all about natural.
Yes.
Everything is natural, from God to,
Yep.
from the medicine to the makeup
Yep.
to the
Yep.
beauty from within. It's all natural. And so we're going to take a break. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to let Elisabeth continue telling us, because when I asked you what the value of Jenny or Paula's house would be in Germany, you scared me when you told me. And we want to go into that when we come back. So y'all, we're going to take a commercial break. Please remember our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
The mountains are calling, and they're closer than you think. Farmers Crossing in Ball Ground offers creekside lots with homes beginning in the 400s. Walking distance to downtown shopping, dining, tennis courts, Calvin Farmer Park, and local events. It also includes a beautiful hike to Long Swamp Creek. Leave the car and the worries behind. Move in by fall 2023. Call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
We're back. Okay, let's talk a little bit about housing, because as a realtor, I can tell you right now we have low inventory. High interest rates and low inventory creates a little bit of a problem. But I ask you to use their homes as examples of what would it be worth in Germany. And you shocked me when you said 0, because they're trying to control your housing, that you will have to spend huge amounts of money to bring your home up to grade for the green team.
Yep.
I don't understand how they can expect you, if you, here in America, if you're grandfathered in and you live in a little old house on 1/3 of an acre, and it doesn't even have enough room for your septic system, but it was grandfathered in because your family's been there for 50 years.
They don't care.
They don't bother you. But in Germany, they don't care about that.
They don't care about
They
that.
don't care.
No. By the year 2030, every home has to be remodeled to have energy safety. So they pack like styropor, I don't know, plastic around the house so it keeps warm, insulation. You need to have solar, the way you heat your water, you're heating everything. So if you have an old home that's maybe older than 70 years or so, it's so expensive to remodel that on there. So what they do, if you can't do that, they say you cannot live in that house anymore. It's like if after an earthquake they say it's not safe to live in there,
Yeah.
they call it the home that you cannot live in there anymore, so it's worthless. They just take it from there, they call it, it's not livable in there, and then you lose your home.
Now, the things I remember about having a German son-in-law and a half-German granddaughter is the fact that the beautiful historical homes in Germany are architectural miracles.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. So these homes that were built, many in the 17th century, will not be inhabited. They're going to destroy them by not letting you use them, because you can't possibly bring it up to standard without spending
Or they
$1 million.
take it for free and they renovate it and they make the money on it.
Right,
So
exactly.
you're de facto, they take your possession and they say it's worth 0, they take it for nothing, and then they make the money on it.
And we call that eminent domain here, you know, or we call it when
I
they
call it
condemn
just
stealing.
Yeah,
Stealing.
just taking it.
Yeah,
Stealing, yes.
Yeah, they're
Because-
basically
yeah.
putting you in a position to say, come and take my home because I can't afford to do this. That's crazy. Y'all, that's crazy.
That's what the World Economic Forum tries to do around the world. People will own nothing and they will be happy. And I said, are they going to take from people that already own their homes? Now they show us how they do it. Yeah. They force you to work on your home, things that are now we had to hand in all our numbers. How big is my house? How many square meters is there? How big is my ground? And now the cities have the right to put on the homeowners all the money they need for all the refugees.
Oh, no.
So now it can happen.
The
that-
refugees from Ukraine?
Yes, and from Afghanistan and Pakistan,
Okay.
we have lots of refugees
So you're
coming.
contributing to that?
Yeah, so now the cities have the right to get the money from the homeowners. So they say you have like 600 square meters, we pay like, I don't know, 40 euros or 4 times a year or so, and I say, well, now you're gonna pay like 3,000. So they get the money from the homeowners and apartment owners to get rid of their...
To keep up the refugees that they're bringing in.
So it's they open the borders, everyone can come in, they get all the money, Social Security, whatever, they get apartments, everything. But they don't have the money, so now they turn on the homeowners to get the money for... You can take it only from people who have it. You can only steal from people who have. If you don't have anything, nobody can steal from you. It's... And they have no pity. They have no pity with the people.
What about elderly people who've been in their home 4 generations? And,
they don't care.
Paula's age.
They're already talking about we don't have enough apartments and enough homes, and there's lots of old people living by themselves because their kids moved someplace, they're widowed, whatever.
So move the old person out?
Yes, that they have too much space, so they're talking about it now. And the way they work with us, if they already speak about it, that's the next thing they say you use up too much space, and now they have like people that rent apartments, and now the owner of the house gets more money if he takes refugees in there, so they quit their rentals and they put refugees in there. So
oh my
I mean, that makes hate in people, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That your own government doesn't take care of you
crazy.
anymore, and they don't care. They have no pity. You ask them and they laugh in your face. Our chancellor, he laughs about when people tell him what's their sorrow and how they try to solve. He laughs and he cannot stop his giggling talking about...
Are you kidding?
Yes. He's so quiet, but making fun of people of their needs, he can't control his giggling.
That sounds like somebody I know in D.C., doesn't it? I swear, it sounds just like her.
And he does everything. He says, we first have to talk with America. Only what Americans tell us to do. So when Trump was president, every word he said, they would fight like crazy. And your actual president can forget his name and forget where he is, and everything is full of respect. And we cherish our old people who are forgetful. Wonderful. Cherish them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm scared. Okay, let's talk about the open borders now. We are finding, I watched something on Fox News this morning where something horrific happened because somebody who crossed the border committed a horrific crime against a young woman. And the border wall was almost finished when our president was in there. And now the wall is being torn down and the gates from hell have been opened. And we are bringing in drugs and drugs and drugs and illegals and habitual violators and people who have committed major crimes in their own country. We are opening the border and letting them come into Texas. God bless Texas. Texas is fighting a losing battle because they are trying to stand their ground and maintain the peace in their communities, and they can't do it. Raping and killing and murdering coming across the border, just across the border by thousands. Is that what's happening in your country?
Yes. Not the people from Ukraine. They're regular families and they are educated, but we have all the people coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan. They're all allowed in. So there's lots of young men. They don't have wives, they don't have families, they don't understand the language, they're not Christians, they're Muslims, so women are their possessions anyhow, and we don't have guns in Germany. So what we have lots of stabbings. Wow. You just sit in the train and a guy passes by, pulls his knife and just stabs you, or stabs you passing by on the road, so we have lots of stabbings. And it's not allowed to say if they are refugees and where they come from, because that would be racist.
But the truth will stand when everything else fails. Is that not the truth?
Yes. So we are not protected. We have a government who sells us out, but God told me something. He has given the earth to the dominion of man. So he first lets man handle things. So if there's injustice, you go to court and they don't do you justice, you go to the next court, they don't do you justice, you go to the next court, and then finally you have the Supreme Court, and if they don't do justice, then he's the last judge. And when he judges, oh my God, you're gonna get a harvest you never wished for. So And the same with family. If your parents are not what parents are supposed to be, you look for other mentors to be parents to you. And if everything fails, he's your father. He's your mentor. He's your provider, everything. So, but he first lets us handle things. And if things fail and fail and fail and fail, and then he comes in. And I think we're at a point where the battle is God's. We are sold out. You don't get justice from the courts. You don't get justice from your doctor. You don't get justice from your government. They just feel above the law. You can say the law says that's my right, and they laugh in your face because they have exemption from the exemption from the exemption from because it's pandemic, because. Isn't that a song? Because. Excuse me, I don't know. Just thinking.
It sounds like it might make a good one.
From a musical.
Because.
So you don't get justice, nothing. So the only way
But God is justice.
Oh
God
yes.
is justice.
Oh yes. And he told me, I'll take care of you. So now I provide you with your salary. And if they shut that door, I have 1,000 other ways to provide for you. And he does. It's so amazing. I'm like a child. And I say, look, I watch all the royals in Britain and so on, and I see they don't let their kids out on the street without a bodyguard. I say, I am a child of the King of Kings. He doesn't let me out on the street with lots of angels taking care of me. In a world that tries to destroy me and to break me and everything, I have lots of bodyguards with me, so I go upright.
So you come to America.
Yeah.
And travel all you want to.
I've got a rich daddy. He's going to take care of me. What he taught me the last 3 years, I mean, what they did wrong to me with all these pandemic lies, it's one thing, but what God gave me, they almost did me a favor, because now I know who my God is. So I will never exchange him for democracy. To me, I always thought in a democracy. I was born in Romania, so my parents, they left everything for freedom. They took our home, they had to pay a fine. We were just taking everything just to have freedom.
So you've started over with nothing
With
before
nothing.
in your life.
Yes. And to me, freedom is a holy cow. I tell you, it's a holy cow. And I thought in democracy you have laws and the laws protect you. Hey, no. Democracy only means Mehrheit. They win who have the most votes. And if you have a leader who's stupid, but he gets most people behind him,
There you go.
Yes.
There
and
you
he
go.
wins,
Bingo.
and no law does anything about it. If he says no, we have now the freedom to change our gender every year. Once a year you can say, now I'm a woman, now I'm a man, now I'm a cow, now I'm a dog. I don't know what you want to feel like. I'm a plastic guitar, I don't know, whatever you want to, yeah, they put it down. That's the freedom we have now.
I know when you get to heaven, God's going to say the fun is here. Your positivity has to project everywhere you go. Now, when you became a Christian, what was the first thing that you realized that you had no idea about before you became a Christian?
When I became a Christian, it was a sermon about the field where the sower sows, and then some falls to the street and the birds pick it, and some falls to the thistles and the thistles kill it, and some falls to the ground. And I understood as a child, I cannot be my own gardener. So if I do not have a gardener, I will be like thistles and thorns and everything. And I became a Christian because I needed a gardener. I wanted to be a flower field. I didn't think about wheat and corn, a flower field. But I knew I need a gardener who takes care of me, who protects my walls, and so not everybody just runs through and makes a mess out of it. So that's why I became a Christian.
Wow.
I need a gardener.
Were you in church with somebody who
With
took
my
you?
parents.
With your parents.
So
okay.
my parents, they are really believers, and I saw at home, they prayed and they asked God how to do it, and he would show them the way, and they obeyed. And we always came through. We are blessed. 3 of my siblings died from liver cirrhosis, 2 as children, 1 at 43, and the youngest one, I donated half of my liver. It's a disease that's genetic, and to see how we're comforted. And when I understood my brother is in heaven now, and he can run, and he can jump, and he can play, and he doesn't have to sit there with his huge water belly, and sometimes his belly button would bust and the water shot out, and my mom tried to hold it, and he couldn't lie down to sleep because the water would he go like, he would breathe like that, and he was just a child. He was sitting and go, or he would grab in his throat and try to get the not the
water.
No, when it pushes back the blood from your liver, you get like Krampfadern, varices around your, and then you feel like you're choking, and he tried to get this choking out, and it was horrible. Yeah, and then when I knew he can play, he can jump, he can run, hey, I am heaven bound. I tell you, I planned so many adventures. You can't die up there.
Yeah.
You cannot get burned, you cannot freeze, you can break your neck, you can. Wow, I have so many adventures planned.
Heaven's going to be an exciting place when you get there.
Oh yeah, I'm heaven bound, I tell you.
Now, do you have a group of people in Germany that you can sit and have prayer meeting like we have here?
Yes.
Okay, are those new Christians, old Christians? Were they raised like you? Did they just come to faith? How did your friends mixed? Okay.
Mixed, yeah.
Do you have friends who had never imagined that God was real?
Yes.
That now do know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is that like to see somebody come to that new life?
My husband, for example, he wasn't a Christian. He was Catholic, and God is up there, and in between are the saints. They made everything right, but he, the little one, So when he heard God is my Father, he wants to talk to me, he's interested in me, and not just only those holy saints that did everything right and lost their lives and whatever. He wants to be, he's my Father. That what's got him, that God wants to be his Father, this close relationship. Yeah. And I talk a lot with my patients. So in psychiatry, I used to work in a women's hospital. I'm also a midwife, and when I moved over to psychiatry, I bought a psychiatry book because I didn't have any idea about psychiatry. And it says, if you believe that you're a child of God, or you can hear his voice, that's a hallucination. I thought, that's crazy. I'm going to show you what crazy is. You look at your crazy, and I look at my crazy, and we compare what crazy is a better life. Goodness gracious. And only against Christians, because Islam doesn't teach you that God talks to you. Buddhism doesn't. Hinduism, I mean, they have millions of gods, but they don't talk to you. So the only God that you could hear or be his child is the God of the Bible, because the others, they don't have an option to be a child of God. Yeah. So I talk to them, and when they say, oh, and I hear voices, and they tell me so, and I say, what do you answer them? Well, I just cut me, or I try to kill me, or I say, why do you obey? Answer them. And then I find out that they have no idea about the Bible, no idea about God, nothing. I mean, we used to be a Christian country. Luther was German. We had all those big religious fights, and now they don't know anything about God. They don't even get the idea to pray. I mean, if you're sad, if you're depressed, I mean, you start praying, don't you? At least then you start praying.
That's the only thing that saves you, yeah. And often, if you are a child of God and you are depressed and you don't pray, then often you listen to that voice that says, take your life, end your life, you are worthless, you are no value. So,
And I tell him how I fight the devil.
How do you fight the devil?
Oh, that's simple.
How?
He comes and tells me I'm stupid, so what's the news about that? I know that.
My goodness.
Oh, you're not disciplined. You try to do that, and you were blah, 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 blah. So what? I know that. And then I tell him, you know who lives in me? You remember his name? Jesus? Remember the cross? When he came down there, he took your your keys? You remember him? Yeah. And if you don't shove off, I chase Jesus after you. You better get going. I'm stupid, I know that, but I got Jesus, and you're smart, but you go to hell. It makes me so mad.
Yeah. You know.
You tell me who I am, I tell you who I got. I'm only the vessel.
I've been told by so many pastors to get rid of Satan. You say, not today, flee Satan, you flee from my home, you flee Satan. Do you believe that we have the power to get rid of Satan?
Yes.
Can we get rid of him?
Oh, yes. You enter my home, you're in trouble. You cross the bloodline of Jesus with all your dirty blood that you take from people. You enter Jesus' blood. Oh, it hurts you. You better.
Wow. Wow. So many people today say, I don't believe because I've never seen him. We have seen him every single day in the birth of Xana. We saw it in the saving of Dawn, in the saving of Ansley. We have seen God up close and personal. We have seen him every single day in our lives. And he is so real, it scares me. I'm getting cold chills because I think he's going to walk in the door. You know, you're like, oh my God. Here he comes. He's real. He is so real. So
and
real.
what I understood is that Jesus lives inside of me. So when I'm in my psychiatric ward and people get crazy and weird and it's yelling, whoa, whoa, and whatever, and then I stop and I remember, Jesus, you're inside of me. I'm the well, but you're the spring. You flow. You know where it's needed. I stand still and you flow. I say, I'm only the lantern. You're the light in me. You shine. I stand still and I let you flow and I let you shine and I just, and I concentrate on Jesus in me. He's there. I don't have to call him from somewhere. He says, my body is his temple. So I put the hands on my belly and say, oh, Jesus, I really made a mess right now. Oh, how am I going to do this again? And he tells me, hey, I'm with you. I'll prepare the way. I'll correct things that were wrong. And I'm just quiet. I know he's in here. And then I'm brave. I go outside and people come and say, you don't know who lives inside here.
There you go.
And you know, Christians always talk about, can Christians be possessed and obsessed and whatever. We have a problem. We think to be obsessed means that you belong to the evil. No, you belong to God. But if you have a thief breaking in your home and making his home in there, he doesn't own your home. He broke in. And so the evil can break in your house, in your inner being. Like the Bible tells us, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. Do we Christians know a spirit of fear? We know him. So how, if we cannot be possessed, how can a spirit of fear enter us? So, but he gives us a spirit of power, of a sound mind, of love. So, and when I talk to my psychiatric patients, they know that fear is real and that they have to obey when panic speaks, when fear speaks, when hate speaks, when suicidal thoughts speak. They know that's real entities that are attacking them. It's not just, and the doctors, oh, that's just your thoughts. No, it is not. If I think, oh, I could travel to Tennessee or I could fly with a plane, that is thoughts. But if something tells me, kill yourself, and I go and do like this, that is not a thought. That is reality. And just giving them pills so they stop thinking, or them pills, they feel a little happier. One patient, she told me, you know, I take all the pills and now in the morning I have strength, I can get up. But I don't have a sense in life. I have no meaning in life. I have the power, but I still don't know what I live for. I said, that's exactly what the problem is with all these pills. Just hush the feelings and hush the anxiety and hush, 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 hush. But it's not clean. There is no way. There is no goal. There is no purpose. No. We are human beings. We should not be treated like machines. Oh, the car makes, so I go like this. It makes, I go like this. No, we're human beings.
And
Excuse me.
Today we're going to end with some music, but I want you to do a prayer. I want us to hold hands, and I want Elisabeth to pray for our viewers, to pray for everybody out there who is struggling, and to ask our viewers to pray for Germany. So can you do that? Can you do that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Oh, Jesus, I thank you that you came down to earth and showed us how to be a human being and connected us back to the Father, that you gave us your Spirit and that He fills us up with joy, with peace, with light, that we can understand you, that we can see you, that we can hear you. Lord, and I beg you to give your Spirit all over the world. Let it flow in all of the dark places and low places, because people can't help themselves. And if your Spirit doesn't come and fill up the places, we are lost. But you promised to send your Spirit in the end of times, that your Spirit would fill the whole earth, bring light to their brains, to their mind, to their soul, and show them your love. Just flood them with your love. Lord, and thank you for my American friends, and that I'm home here, and that I have such a big and beautiful family all over the world. Lord, and thank you that you help Germany, and we, your children, we are the light, and we will not give up, and darkness will not overcome us. You will start something new, and you told me to brace for impact, but we are safe with you. We are safe. We are not victims of anybody, because you saved us, and you are bigger than anybody. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And she
Well,
worked as a shepherdess too.
That's
just
right.
a
We talked
wonderful
about that
thing.
last time you were here. She was a shepherdess, a midwife. It's crazy what you have been able, and how many people you've been able to connect with because of the things you can do. Well, we're going to connect you right now with somebody that y'all love, and I hope we got some gospel music, because that would be appropriate today. Today is a day of faith. It is a day of promises that America is going to come back strong. I know when you came and visited Antioch Baptist Church and you spoke there, it was at a very critical time in America. We are at a critical time in America again.
Yes.
So we want you to continue praying for our country, because we too are seeing a little bit of trouble, aren't we? A little bit of trouble. So
But we are stronger than
We are
7
stronger.
years ago. We know more.
we do. We do.
And we know that we have an almighty God.
Yep.
Almighty, not
Yep.
just mighty like our
Right.
governments.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're gonna go to some music by Dwight Sanford, Mr. Ellijay. So y'all sit back and enjoy.
I feel good. I got my best jeans on. I feel fine. I'll call my baby on the phone. We're going down to Jamie's and watch them shoot a game of 9. Jackie Dunn will be there in his ragtop 59. My grill is clean. I've got an 8-track in the dash of my machine, and I know every single line. Yeah, Susie's got her dress on, hanging high above her knees. And when she smiles for the Nikon, you know it's such a sight to see. It's Friday night in the southern city lights. Wheels will turn and the rubber's gonna burn. The glass packs are racking, the power play is screaming loud. We'll cruise the red dot parking lot and see who all is in the crowd. 'Cause I feel good, I got my best jeans on, it's all fine. I'll call my baby on the phone. We're going down to Jamie's and watch him shoot a game of 9. Jackie Dunn will be there, and you better not step out of line. ago, in days of childhood, I used to play till the evening sun would come. Then wandering down an old familiar pathway, I could hear my mother call at set of sun. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. Some of my fondest memories of my childhood were woven around supper time. And Mom, I remember how you used to call from the steps of our old home place. You'd always say, "Come home, son, it's supper time." What I'd give to hear that just one more time. But you know, time has woven a realization of truth that's even more thrilling. And that's when we hear that call from the portals of glory to come home for supper time. When all of God's children gather around the table with the Lord Himself, and we celebrate the greatest supper time of all. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. As I travel through this pilgrim land, there is a friend who walks with me, leads me safely through the sinking sand. It is the Christ of Calvary. This will be my prayer, dear Lord, each day, that I may do the best I can. For I need the light to guide me day and night. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Lord, I need thee every hour. Through this pilgrim land, protect me by thy power. Hear my feeble plea, dear Lord, look down on me. When I kneel in prayer, I hope to meet you there. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Let me travel in your light divine, that I may see the blessed way. Keep me that I may be wholly thine, and sing redemption song someday. I will be a soldier brave and true, never firmly take my stand. As I onward go and daily need the foe, blessed Jesus, hold if I've a crown of life I've won. I have put my faith in thee, dear Lord, that I may reach that golden strand. There's no other friend on whom I can depend. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Jesus, hold my hand. Lord, I need thee. Through this pilgrim land, protect me by thy power. Hear my feeble plea, dear Lord, look down on me. When I kneel in prayer, I hope to meet you there. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.